All right, so today we will quickly discuss the power of investment in stocks and bonds. Anybody excited about stocks and bonds?
Yeah. Right here.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, stocks and bonds. So why are stocks and bonds important? The first thing is investment. We got to realize before we talk about a stock and bond, we got to talk about what's the importance of an investment. Investments in financial future are important for three things: retirement, children's education for colleges, and saving for possible emergencies and vacations. So you invest because things happen, things come up. You want to make sure that your kids have money for their future. You want to make sure you can retire one day. No one wants to work till they're 70, 80 years old, and you don't have to if you invest. Well, the investment I'm going to talk about today is stocks and bonds. So first, what's a stock? A stock is a type of security that gives stockholders a share of ownership in a company. Stocks are also called equities. The purpose of stocks is instead of you buying shoes, you invest in the owner of the shoe. So for instance, instead of buying Nikes every year, it's better to invest in Nike and let it build a return for you. Now, will the return be big? I don't know. It depends upon how Nike is doing. Is it a chance? Yes, it's a chance. But that's why stocks are so good, because they give you part ownership of a company instead of you just owning a shoe that's going to get wear and tear in the next 1 to 2 years. So stocks are a very important part of the financial world. Think about it and think about your future. You don't believe me? Let's look at one. So, examples, we have penny stocks. A lot of penny stocks I look at all the time, people look at all the time, such as oil, you have energy, you even have penny stocks and new shoe companies coming out, new applications coming out. They start at little bitty pennies. You don't believe me? Netflix. July 2002, Netflix started trading at 87 cents a share. It's less than $1 a share. Today, it is worth $102.62 a share. It's crazy how Netflix started less than $1 is now worth $102 per share. Meaning, if I would have bought Netflix in July of 2002 with $1,000, I could have had 1,000 shares. My 1,000 shares would be worth $102 a share. That means I would have $102,000 sitting in my pocket. All because of the fact that I invested in something when it was a little small company. So stocks, yes, they're risky, but you really don't lose out like you think you do. You actually gain if you sow into a company that's small. Well, that's stocks. What about bonds? What are bonds? Bonds are a debt security similar to an IOU, meaning borrowers issue bonds to raise money from investors willing to lend them money for a certain time. So what does it mean? What is a bond? Banks have bonds. The government has bonds. U.S. Treasury has bonds. What that is whatever the purpose of the bond is, I can invest into it, whether it's 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, however long the bond is. And over time, it matures. And as it matures, when it's time for me to buy my bond back, I can buy it back also with the great return that's on it. So I put a bond in with $1,000 and I did it for 30 years and it matured and gained me $400. When I get it back, I get back $1,400, even though I started with $1,000. Now, is that a good return? Not a huge quick return, but it's a good investment for colleges because there are some U.S. Treasury bonds that they can mature and give you a lot of money over 20 years. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. But that's what bonds are good for. They're more secure than stocks because in bonds you really don't lose like you could in a stock. Stocks you can gain real good, or you can lose real bad. Bonds are a little bit more secure. Both are part of the investment for your financial future. So, when it comes to stocks and bonds, there are three things you must know. The acronym is, you got to rev it up. Well, what does REV stand for? R, research. Never buy a stock and bond unless you research the company's history. You need to know what the company is about before you just pour your money into it. So research. Where did it start? Who's the founder of it? Not just how good they're doing, but are they a legit company? 2, E is for educate. You must continuously educate yourself on that stock or that bond. So now that you've researched it, what is it doing today? What is it going to try to do tomorrow? Where is this stock and bond investment going? Is it going to stay the same? Is it going to drop? Is the company going bankrupt? Is somebody suing them? These are things you must educate yourself with continuously. B is verify. After you research, after you've educated, verify. Call a stockbroker. Visit a stock trading website. Talk to somebody that you know does stocks and ask them, hey, is this a good stock to invest in? I've researched and I've been educated about it, but what do you think? Get verification. Make sure it's a good stock to invest in. Make sure it's something that financially, I can't tell you all the answers, but this may help your family. This may help your children. This may help you retire one day. So, investment websites. What are some good sites? Scottrade, E-Trade, you got Ameritrade, you have Merrill Lynch, you have a whole different types of investment sites that you can go to. You can sign up for free, and then you can start trading. And the trading is based on whatever commission they want. It's based on that. So if I buy a stock, it may cost you $7 for all the shares. They're not going to charge you per share, but just for a bunch of shares, they might charge you 6, they'll charge you 7. But look up online and do a comparison and see which one is better for you. So, when it's time for you to buy stocks and bonds, you must first rev it up. And once you verify, which is that V, then it's time to buy. So everybody good? Do we understand stocks and bonds? Are we excited about stocks and bonds?
Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about. Well, I appreciate you all for stopping by, and I'm glad that you are now ready to buy. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.